and just literally finished my shift about 5 minutes ago. And down at, well, I've left the depot and out the work premises and down at the waterfront at Dundee, and try to balance my phone on the steering wheel here. I'm not driving, obviously, and parked up. No, it's just a short video, just a short live. That's good. Now I could relax because my hands, I don't have to hold that. It's just a short video. It's just plans for tomorrow. I'm planning on going through to up to Aberdeen tomorrow, taking the coach up. It's my day off tomorrow. Like, I've worked 7 days in a row and absolutely exhausted. So I've got tomorrow off. I've got a day off. So I'm going to take the Flixbus coach from Dundee to Aberdeen. Oh, somebody's joined in. Hi, whoever it is. I like it. Just a wee up. Just plans for tomorrow for myself. I'm going to be in Aberdeen during the afternoon. So I'm hoping to do a live tomorrow as well, whilst in Aberdeen, in the central area. And hi Braveheart. Yeah, I'm absolutely exhausted. I do look tired, but I'm tired. I just worked 7 days in a row, and I've just literally finished about 10 minutes ago. I drove from the depot to here and at the waterfront. It's a lovely down here. I'll show you what it looks like when parked. I'm balancing the phone on the steering wheel. I'll turn it round if I can. I was actually going to mention... Oh, I've just got to remember it's two ways. It's down at the waterfront. I was going to mention something regarding the Mandela effect, if you just bear with me. I'm just showing you. It's down at the lovely waterfront. It's where I'm parked. I'm still getting used to this because I'm still getting familiar with doing lives. Yeah, I was totally exhausted. They do work you hard. They certainly they make you work for your money. Yeah, tomorrow I'm going to be going to Aberdeen for the someone watching. Just for a day out. I'm not driving at all, and just leaving the car at home, and then going by bus and taking the Flix bus, the Flix coach bus, and it's really, really quite cheap. Value for money, like, considering it's relatively cheap. It was only just under £9 to book online to go from Dundee to Aberdeen and back again. And it's a brand new coach that they're running. They're running the Volvo 9700s, and they're, state of the art. They're quite luxurious. State of the art, I mean, just brand new, like 23 plates, and you're only paying £9 a turn to get to Aberdeen and back. The Flix buses are relatively cheap. They go to Aberdeen as well. They go to Glasgow and Edinburgh, for a relatively cheap price. So yeah. Oh, hi Jim. Hi. Yeah, just doing a wee update. Plans for tomorrow, and yeah, £9 is really, really good, and it's brand new coaches. So I'm hoping to tomorrow at some point in Aberdeen, to do a live, just show some of the sites in the centre area of Aberdeen, sort of in about the Aberdeen harbour area. So I'll be leaving the car at home, so I'll just be getting the coach to Little John Street in Aberdeen. That's where the Flix bus goes to, and then I'll hoping to have a couple of pints there, go to the cinema, have something to eat as well, and at some point, and also going to try some of the local buses out as well. So I'm going to try and squeeze all that in between the arrival time tomorrow at 1 o'clock to catching the coach back from Aberdeen back to Dundee, leaving Aberdeen about 9:10. So I've got about 8 hours, so I'm going to try and squeeze in quite a bit, and hopefully I could some point fit in a live as well. And if you want to see something in particular when in there, and if I can, I'll go there and see if I could film it for you, whether it's going to be done on the live or on a separate video. If you've got any ideas, I'll try and do the live as well. Yeah, Granite. Yeah, grey granite city. Yeah, Aberdeen. I used to go up that way in the 80s when I was at the school, at primary school. We used to. My dad had an old Mark 1 Escort, and we used to go up to my relatives that stayed up that way at the weekends after school. I used to look forward to it. We used to set off on a Friday and came back on the Sunday, and we went through Aberdeen. And I remember them saying that it was, it's all granite up there, so, like Peterhead as well. A lot because it was Hatton and Mintlaws where I went to for my holidays. Not holiday, well, yeah, holidays as well, because I used to go on the school holidays. But yeah, I'm planning on doing that tomorrow. What was going to say? I was going to mention something about the Mandela effect. I was watching an episode of the Twilight Zone. Now I don't know who's exactly is watching, but I know that there's someone on there that does know about or is aware of the Mandela effect. So I thought I'd mention that there's an episode of the original Twilight Zone, the black and white ones. It was called Parallel, and it's just so canny. It's so like what the Mandela effect is like. If you get a chance, you could probably, Stirling. That's right. Yep, it was Stirling. Yeah, you see when I look at it now, it's got Stirling. It looks totally wrong. You know, it doesn't even seem right. It's Stirling. I remember it being Stirling because it reminds me. It just reminded me of a place called Stirling. You know, because it was obviously spelt Sterling, but it definitely had a T. But now apparently it's never had a T, and it's Stirling. It feels wrong. Yeah, it just feels totally weird. You know, it's strange because I watched the episode. It was yesterday. I've got the whole box set, by the way. I've got the box set of the Twilight Zone for the 1980s. The episode, it's called Parallel. The Parallel. It's 50 minutes long. It's I'm sure it's online as well. Yeah, it is. It's on YouTube because what was it? No, I went online and I put a link in the description to. I sent the link to somewhere, so you could definitely see it online. If you type it in, the Twilight Zone, the original 1963, and it's black and white, and it's called The Parallel, and it's so like the Mandela effect. It really is. And this is, before Mandela effect. The Hull was dubbed that. See if we could. Just try to get that to come back up again. Live, my messages are visible. I'm just trying to get them back on. Yeah, if I could actually, what I might do at the end of I'm just keeping it a short one because I've got to go up the road. But if I remember, I'll try and put a link in the description to this live to that episode. If you have difficulty finding it, because as I say, I sent the link to my mate. It was on a comment, so you'll definitely be able to see it online. I'll put it in the description to this. So here we go. I think you get peace down here and down at the waterfront, just waiting on them. And it's not that. It's just I bet they sit right in front of me now. Nah, they're alright. That's fine. It's just the young. There's a lot of boy racer likes, and I come down here just to get a piece of quiet. I was just waiting on them, making a noise or something. That's okay. Problems. Cars at each side, but what was I saying? Yeah, it's worth watching. So it's the Parallel, and it's just amazing. I really enjoyed it. It was just brilliant. I'll be going home when I get back. I'm going to put my feet up. I'm going to watch I've got loads and loads of DVDs. I'm going to watch Clint Eastwood, Magnum Force. I'm going to put my feet up and watch that. Just chill out. So I'll be getting the coach tomorrow. I'll get through to Aberdeen around about dinner time. I'll spend a few hours, and when I get there, as I say, I'll try and squeeze in a live or something, if I could show you some of the centre areas. But I will be just quite restricted. I won't be able to go very far because, as I say, I'm leaving my car at home, so I won't be able to do an awful lot as far as the thing. Can't beat Clint Eastwood. Yeah, I've got the Clint Eastwood box set as well, the Cowboy ones. Joe Kidd. What else was there? I've got loads of them, I like his films. Heartbreak Ridge. That was one of the Clint Eastwood films. I've lost count. There's Joe Kidd, the Western ones, Good, Bad, the Ugly. Play Misty for Me, that was another one. I've got quite a load. Dirty Harry, yeah, I've got the whole box set of that. Yeah, 1971, I think was the first one. It was called Dirty Harry. And then the second one, was it Magnum Force, Enforcer or something? He done 4 of them, eh? There's Magnum Force. There was one with Cagney and Lacey. You know that American film? Well, Lacey was in an episode, a film with Clint Eastwood. I can't remember the actress's name, but she was in one of them. I can't remember what her name is, but yeah, I like his films. I'm actually going to be going to the cinema. I'm going to try and go to the cinema tomorrow as well when I'm in Aberdeen, to get used to my cards, my unlimited cinema card. And try to get that back up again. And it's going to disappear now. Great. Sometimes these things are spawned, sometimes they don't. Try to get the messages back up. Do you feel lucky, punk? Yeah. Yeah, that's one of his sayings, yeah. Well, that episode with the Scorpio, character, he just wanted them to blow him away, like he was in. The Scorpio was a nasty. He hijacked a school bus. What was the episode? It wasn't Magnum Force. It was one with. Oh no, what was it? It might have been the first one, the Dirty Harry one. But he says, what was it? No, I've lost count with all the bullets, with all this excitement. Did I fire 5 or did I fire 6? Do you feel lucky, punk? Oh, it's hilarious. Yeah, I like his films. But I'm not sure what I'm going to see tomorrow at the cinema, but I just want to get used to my Cineworld card. It's an unlimited card, and I want to just get used to it, and also at the same time just actually have a chance to sit back and relax and have a break from driving. I'll find a place, have a couple of pints, and I'll do the usual busman's holiday stuff. I'll try out some of the local buses, the different models of buses that they're running there as well. Yeah. But was something I was going to say about the Mandela effect. No, there's that much going on in a bit. Because I should have wrote them down, but as I say, I just literally finished my shift. I've not really had a chance to unwind it. It was just a short live just for plans for tomorrow. I'm hoping to at some point get some video of some of the areas in Aberdeen. I like Aberdeen's harbour area, the docks, and there's loads of trucks and lorries. I like all that sort of stuff. And it's not far from the city centre, it's just all within walking distance. So if I had more time, I'd go right along to the Esplanade as well, and I would go to the I don't know what the carnival is, good one is, but I did try that experiment with the live on the move while I was driving, and I watched it on the playback, but it came out crap. It was just pixelated. I think it's something to do with the bits, the bit rate, the processing time. It was just rubbish, so I'm not so sure if it's going to really work doing lives whilst, on the move. Like, I think it's all to do with the movement of the contrast with the light. The camera doesn't really know the difference between motion and movement, and light levels. So if there's a shadow or something, or if the light in the background is changing a lot, like for as far as the camera is concerned, it's just motion. So if it's not able to keep up with that, it's not going to process it very well. It'll just come out all pixelated, and it's just shit, you know. I've done 3 hours on that last live, and during the driving it was just crap, you know. I couldn't shoot it. The scenery was just rubbish. You couldn't see it, you know. So it's better to do the actual video and if I'm driving, you know, as a recording, and the quality's just much better, and I could, you know, edit it as well and keep it to a sort of reasonable length of time. But that 3 hour one, I covered a lot of distance, you know. I done a lot on that live, and it was just to try to see how much, you know, how far I could go with a live without the signal breaking. It did break a couple of times, but it rejoined again, it reconnected. So there's issues with that as well. But again, that might be all to do with the, you know, I don't know if an expensive phone might improve that or not, or if it's just the way the network is. You know, I don't know how I could do it. You know, get a good quality live whilst driving. I would love to, but I don't know if anybody's got any. I mean, I don't have a lot of money, so I don't have much money at all. But I guess if I spent a fortune on equipment and invest in it, then maybe I'll overcome these problems. But you know, I could always just record it. Yeah, so that's the plan. I was just keeping it quite short. I'll stay in for a few more minutes, then I'll get up the road, and I've got to unwind it. See, when you do bus driving as a job, or I suppose any driving job, if you're driving for a living, it's not just a case of going home and going straight to bed. You know, it just doesn't really work like that. You've got to unwind. You need maybe a couple of hours, well, I do anyway, at least, just to unwind. You know, it's not as simple as just going straight to bed. I don't know how it is, but it's maybe just the way because driving, the brain job is going, it's always active. A lot of people think, oh, you're sitting and driving all day, you know, how can it be tiring? But believe you me, it's not so much physically tiring, it's mentally draining. I mean, that's absolutely zonked. You know what I mean? Completely knackered. And, you know, you just, even though knackered, just can't go right to bed. You've got to, even if it's like reading stuff online, or, I mean, I like doing model building with Lego. Yeah, Lego. But the models that I build with Lego, it's expensive. I spent hours and hours and hours building scaled models of vehicles, buses, trucks. I've done a video on it on my channel, and I sometimes find that helps as well, you know, just unwinding. Most of the time it's just a case of going home, sitting back, you know, having something to eat. And the job as well, it's not the healthiest for keeping the weight off, because the hours that I'm on, I go home and eat, you know, and then go to bed after it, after a couple of hours, and it's difficult to keep the weight off in this type of work. I mean, it can be done, and I've done it before. It's about discipline. I mean, once I've had the weight off before, but it's so easy to put the weight back on again. But it's about discipline. It's really about 80% of it's keeping the weight off. It's hard work getting it off, but I know how to do it. But keeping the weight off is believe you me, that's the hardest part, because I'm still doing the same job, and I don't smoke. I've never smoked, so I tend to eat more instead. Or I'm not a heavy drinker either, so I tend to eat more like sweets, cakes, stuff like that. And it's all, you know, with the work, the hours that I'm doing, you know, it's the wrong times to eat, but there's nothing that I can do about it. So the weight goes on so easily in this type of work, you know, driving jobs. And I think, you know, stress as well just with constant. It's not a job you could, people say you can skive. You can never skive in a driving job. How could you skive? You know what I mean? You're on the minute you're in that behind the wheel, you're on the go to the minute you're out, and you've got to keep that level all the time. You know, and it's mentally draining. Okay, and you know, it's so easy to put weight back on and getting motivated as well. Like going to the gym, and it's hard to get motivated, you know, to keep the weight off. But I know how I could do it anyway. I've done it before, and the times that I've been in, well, I've been in the job 15 years, and during that time I've lost weight. Well, I've had to go to lose weight about twice, I think, 2-3 times, and it took me about 3 months. I was hitting the scales at 19 stone. It was ridiculous, and then it got my weight down to 16, and it wasn't long going back up again to 18. There was just, you know, no effort at all. So I've had to get the weight off again down to about 16 and a half. Now it's going up to about sort of 17, and I'm just trying to keep it there, you know, even get it down, and things like eating just a little bit less, doing more walking, just walking up for the garage to the town instead of getting the mail bus up. You know, I've measured that out, and that's about 1 kilometre. So that's like every day. And that all adds up, all that exercise adds up. It burns off calories. It's all about the amount of calories coming in and the amount of calories you burn off. Jogging as well. Another thing, you could jog a mile and you could run a mile, but you still burn off roughly about the same calories because you're doing the same amount of work, only that when you're jogging you're doing it faster, so you'll feel out of breath because you're doing it in a sort of a faster time, whereas if you're walking you're still having to move your mass, your weight from point A to point B, so you're still covering you're still doing the same amount of work, but so you're still, and the energy doesn't come from nothing. You've got to get energy, so you're burning energy off. You get nothing for nothing. Energy, that's how physics works. So you're still moving from point A to point B, albeit you're doing it slower when you're, you know, just walking along. But if you're running or jogging, then you could do more in a given time. I mean, I went jogging. I don't jog very fast. I used to be a fast runner when I was at school. I was much fitter back then. I was a lot stronger back then. The rugby, the cross country. I mean, I had the height to my advantage as well. Like, you know, it was, you know, because having been quite big was the advantage with the sport. You know, the shot put and the rugby and that. But I was a lot fitter. But I was a few years back now. I was going to the gym and I was able to do lift certain weights, and I was a lot stronger. But now the shoulders start to get a bit sore, and I'm kind of like lost that momentum. I'm nowhere near as fit as I used to be. Getting motivated, and certainly not getting any younger. You know what I mean? I'm 48 this year, so I think when I was at my strongest, I don't know, before I started on the buses. It's just when I first started on shift work, that's kind of thrown everything, because before that I was working in factories, so it was a fixed hours, and everything was in in sync. But as soon as I started on the buses, the shift work just throws everything out of sync. The whole synchronization, the body metabolism and the body rhythms and all that kind of stuff is just thrown out. So you're not really working at your optimum. So I lost a lot of the momentum of going to the gym and keeping fit. And as a result of this, you know, the weight goes on, like, and as the older you get as well, the body metabolism, it slows. So the weight goes on even easier because the metabolism's not burning off the energy as much. And just checking the temperature. Sitting idling. That's been idling. I'm gonna have to get going soon, but Yeah, because just switching it off, but as soon as I do that, I'll start getting a bit with this, because my car, it burns oil, and when it's sitting idling, it tends to clog up the spark plugs, But yeah, that's what I'm hoping to do tomorrow anyway, just to go through to Aberdeen for the deal, and as I say, I'm hoping to, at some point, I'll get a live done, just to show you a wee bit of the Aberdeen and that. I don't know what else is on the... Oh, I've missed the charts. I know what you're thinking. Did he 6 shots or 5 shots? Well, yeah, just looking at they say what Clint Eastwood said. Avoid the takeaways and sugary foods. Yeah, that's right. Yep. But I'm sitting, well, my weight, it's at the moment, I'm sitting about just about the 17 stone mark, and that's, I'd like to be down to about 16, 15 and a half, 16 would be fine, but how tall am I in feet and inches? I stand about 6 foot, but it's just a bit, 6 foot, yeah, 6 foot tall. Smash that. Sore shoulders or something. Yeah, I know what the shoulders are actually, because I've been lying on the mattress that I bought a new bed a couple of years back. I thought it was really comfortable at first, but it turns out the mattress is it's too firm, and because I lie on my side a lot when I'm sleeping, it was crushing my shoulder. I was, causing a lot of shoulder aches. But now what I've done is I got myself a mattress top. It's a lot softer. It's basically just foam, but it cost me £90. But it does make a big difference. I went to Dunall Mill for it. It was all coiled up, rolled up, and you unpackage it. You need to let it wait a few hours, 24 hours or something, just for it to all settle. It's memory foam. So I put that on top of the mattress, and it's made a big difference actually. My shoulders are getting a bit better because they're not getting, I can actually move them a lot easier. I know that they're not 100%. I'll never be able to lift as much the weights. Well, I'll never say never. I would like to be able to do that again. I think the maximum that I managed to reach, I suppose my prime then was lying back on the bench press, and it was 30 kilograms at each arm, so it was 60 altogether, and I was able to do 10 reps lying right back, like that, and I put them down, had a break. I done 3 sets of 10 reps, so it's like 30 reps altogether, and that was pretty good. So that was like 5 stone in each arm. That's 10 stone altogether doing that, and that was at the Olympia gym, and also the Lochee, but mainly the Olympia, the old Olympia actually, and which is just behind me. It's where the V&A is now. I prefer the original leisure centre, Olympia Centre. And then, of course, that was knocked down in 2014. So I had to go to the gym in the new one, which the gym there isn't as, it's all right, I prefer the old one, but I was able to do that back in, I think it was 2016, 2015, because my mate came to the gym with us, and he was tried it as well, and he thought it was really good. I was able to do that. He gave it a go, but he was needing to work up to be able to do that. But there's no way I could do it just now. I'd love to be able to, but it's going to get harder to do that as the older you get. It's all about motivation. I mean, what to think? Do I really need to be able to do that? Is it worth the effort? I suppose it would be for my own reasons, but it's hard work. Just as I say, motivation's the hardest part to get back to the gym. Swimming. I used to do that regularly every week. Sometimes at one point it was twice a week. When I was doing my weight loss regime, I was actually walking to work, and this is when you had the 4 hour breaks and everything. I was walking from Minnesota to the town, that's about 3 mile. Done my first half with the driving with the buses. Then I came off, had my break, 4 hour break. I'd go to the gym, then go to swimming. Then I would walk back up to the town, do my second half, and then I'd walk back up the road. I was just, I was doing a lot of exercise, a lot of gym and swimming, and the weight came off, 3 stone came off in 3 months. So I know I could do it. But the hardest part is just keeping the weight off. That's the hardest part, and getting motivated. Some other issues. Yeah, sleeping on my back, yeah. Well, even then, I started to suspect that it was a mattress because my back was getting sore at my lower back, and I didn't want to think. I was saying to myself, surely not. Spent a fortune on that mattress. I was getting a sore back and my shoulders, and the alarm bell started ringing, and I thought, nah, it's definitely, it's got to be the mattress. So I put the softer top on it, and a big difference it's made. It's made a big difference. Like, I can feel my shoulders improving. They're not anywhere near as better as good as they were, but I can feel an improvement. So obviously, the mattress has done something. I know that there was something wrong with them. There was nothing serious, but there was something just no quite right. But I was still able to lift a lot of weights. But I think the mattress, and the other thing as well that kind of wrecked my fitness regime was when they started closing all the gyms and the swimming. That just, and I was hiking as well. And I still got the hike club, but that year everything was stopped. The hiking was stopped. The Caledonia Hill Walking Hike Club that I go to, that was obviously stopped. The gyms are all closed. The swim was all closed. So the momentum there was just lost. And it's hard to get that momentum back up again. But yeah, let's just keep this quite short. I'm going to have to get going. You'll be under 6 foot, bud, or just over. Only, let's say, ever been 6 feet exactly. Yeah, 6 foot. I think it's what was it now? Oh, it's 182 centimetres or something. I can't remember. It was thereabouts. The weights, you do know that your height changes throughout the day. Well, see if you're as soon as you get out your bed in the morning, if you've been lying on your back for hours and you get up in the morning and measure your height, you'll probably be about an inch taller because of the back, the spine. Basically, when you've been lying in your bed for hours and you get up, you're a wee bit taller. And I've measured it, and I know that it happens with me anyway. I also know as well, when I get in my car, the rear view mirror here, it's way up, and I've got to go like that. It's because when you're up on your feet throughout your day, something to do with the spine, it compresses. It's natural. It's not anything, but I think it was over an inch, must be an inch taller. Try that when you measure your height, and when you go to bed, if you've been sleeping for about, 6, 7 hours, 8 hours, whatever, and they measure your height in the morning, you might find that you'll be a wee bit taller, about an inch, half an inch to an inch taller, because of the compression of it must be the back spine. But no, I kid you not, no kidding, I measured it, and it certainly did that with me, and I did look online and I researched into it, and apparently that this is something that's just natural, so I'm gonna have to get going soon. It's just that it's not bad. I'll wait till it's shut. Yeah, it's a personal and a personal achievement. I was happy with lifting that. I was quite into that, but I think I must have done something to the shoulders, because there was something not quite right even before. Nothing major. It was just, I mean, there's nothing majorly wrong with them, but it certainly doesn't get any better when you get older. Well, I think it takes longer to, when you get older, things start going. Get yourself some gymnastic rings and you're able to train you. Yeah. Well, I used to do press-ups, sit-ups, in the gym. Yeah. Tail flips from line back. Oh, it's a disc in the spine. Yeah, I know there's something. I'm no expert on biology. Like, it was one of the things that I can't get into biology science. My favourite science was physics, but you taught you biology at school. I can't get into it. I don't like it. I don't like biology, so I don't really know the full ins and outs of why that, how it works, why the spine and all that does all these things. I never really studied it, but there's definitely something to it. I could maybe show you if you're from Dundee, you'll maybe know it. You'll probably know it very well, but I could show you what it looks like over there. It's quite peaceful. Because I'm going to have to round this off soon. I'm going to have to get going up the road. I'll turn it around. It always zooms in for... Oh God, it's done it again. Here we go. It zooms into me, then it turns... I'm going to get the window open. So it's quite nice, Quite relaxing down here. If I had more time, I would actually go for a walk, maybe along towards the waterfront, the Tay Road Bridge, and out that way. But they've certainly put in a lot of effort with that, though, have they? Apparently, you've got the effects. You could hit these. You get all sorts of noises and stuff, boat sounds, and I've never really got into it, but I've heard the big foghorn and that you hear over there. It's going to go in again, is it? That's it. Yeah, so I'm going to have to get going because that's a lot longer than I thought. Good grief. Right, yeah, I'm going to get shooting up the road. Get heading back home. But yeah, that was just basically just a wee. If you're wanting to see some of Aberdeen and planning to do a bit of live streaming when I'm up there, but I'll just be on foot because I'm just leaving the car at home. So I'll show you some of the harbour area and docks. If there's anything you want to see that I could show you when there, then just put in the chats. Yeah. Oh well, it's time to go. Thank everybody that's joined me, that's tuned into this. I don't know how to end it. I just don't like leaving like that. But anyway, I'm going to have to go. Thanks very much for joining in and interacting with me on the live stream. And as I say, if you want to just keep an eye out for tomorrow on the notifications and whatnot, and if I could get around to doing a live, then I'll do that. Okay. Good night. See you later on. Bye.